My boss told us not to give robbers the money, or we'd be fired. It was my first week as a bank teller, and I was still in that stage of trying to look confident while secretly praying I didn't screw up, counting bills, fake smiling, double-checking every serial number. You know, first week panic. Then, out of nowhere, my day exploded into a nightmare. Everyone on the ground now! 3 guys in ski masks stormed in, guns raised. The sound of bodies hitting the tile was instant. My coworker Sam, who was 8 months pregnant, froze right beside me. One of the men shoved a bag at her. "Fill it," he barked. Before she could even move, our branch manager, Ed Harris, burst out of his glass office like he was about to host a press conference. "Stop right there, Sam," he yelled, his voice all command and arrogance. Even the robbers paused. "If any of you hand over a single dollar," he said, "you're fired. Every last one of you. I swear my brain just short-circuited. Dude, these guys had assault rifles. And this man, sitting safe behind bulletproof glass, was acting like this was a test of employee loyalty." The lead robber actually laughed. "You serious, old man? This is my bank," Harris snapped. "You're not taking a cent." That's when the second guy grabbed a woman by the hair, shoved a gun to her head, and screamed, "You gonna watch her die for your money, old man?" And Harris, without missing a beat, said, "There'll always be more customers." That line burned into my brain. The woman's little boy was sobbing, like that full body kind of crying where it sounds like he can't breathe. Something inside me just snapped. When the robber pointed the gun toward the kid, I stood up. My voice shook, but I managed. "Wait! I'll give you everything. Just don't hurt anyone." From behind his office glass, Harris shrieked, "You're fired if you touch that money!" I didn't care anymore. My hands were trembling so bad I could barely open the drawer. I started stuffing bills into the bag, trying not to make eye contact with the guy holding the gun. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw the silent alarm button near register 3. Harris noticed me glance at it and screamed, "Don't you dare press that. Not while they have my money. His money, not our lives." So yeah, I pressed it. The alarm blared seconds later, loud enough to make everyone flinch. The robbers spun around, panicking. "Who hit it?" the lead one yelled, aiming straight at my face. I started, but then sirens wailed outside. They bolted, snatching the half-filled bags and running right into the cops already surrounding the place. It was over in minutes, but the silence after was worse. Everyone was crying or shaking. Harris finally stepped out of his glass bubble, straightening his tie like he just wrapped up a board meeting. "Officer," he said, totally calm, "I need to report an employee who violated direct orders during a robbery." The entire lobby just stared. That mom, still holding her son, shouted through tears, "You told them not to help us! You didn't care if we died." The cop's face changed immediately. "Mr. Harris," he said slowly, "you instructed your staff not to call for help during an armed robbery?" "I followed loss prevention protocol," Harris said, all stiff and smug. "You never provoked—" "Sir," the detective interrupted, "you told your tellers not to call for help while people were being threatened at gunpoint?" I raised my hand, still shaking. "Yes, he said we'd be fired if we tried." Sam stood up beside me, pale and trembling. "He told them to shoot us if we touched the money." Her voice cracked on the last word. "He didn't care what happened." Harris turned ghost white. The detective didn't even look at him again, just nodded to another officer. They escorted Harris outside for questioning, which was probably the nicest possible phrase for, "You're done." When it finally sank in that we were safe, I just collapsed. My body was shaking uncontrollably, like all the adrenaline finally gave up. Paramedics came in to check everyone out. One older man, who'd tried to shield that mom, pointed at me and told the officers, "That young lady saved us all." That's when I completely lost it. Tears, shaking, the whole thing. Sam sat beside me and squeezed my hand. "You had a gun to your head," she whispered, "and he was still screaming about money. You're the reason we're alive." I didn't feel like a hero. I felt like a terrified new hire who just learned how cheap human life looked from behind bulletproof glass. Click the full story to see what happened next.